All right, guys. So thanks for being here tonight. Team Forever Strong's Diamond Push. This is week 5. Guys, we only have 2 weeks left from today in the Diamond Push. So congratulations to the people who are already Diamond coaches on the team. I think that there are 4 people as of right now, which is awesome because, the cash pot is over $1,600. Over, how much is it, Nick? 2,000? Maybe it's like 1,600, 1,700. So that's a good amount of money that those 4 people are going to be getting. So guys, even if you haven't been able to reach this goal yet, it's not too late. So just make the decision in your mind if you're going to make it happen or not, and then just go for it. It really just does boil down to a choice that you make within yourself. All right. So even the coaches that I've been talking to have already locked it in. I mean, for weeks before this, they were saying, I am going to do this. Like, I will become a Diamond coach. Like, I'm going to be the next one on the team. And so that's how it happened. They had that mindset and then they followed up with the action. So you guys can all do the same thing. Even if you came in right now, guys, and you haven't had anybody signed up, you still could go ahead and make this happen. Definitely. All right. So don't give up on yourself. And you guys already have an upper hand anyways among like everybody else, because look at how many people are on the call now, like versus the first week. So you guys are all in. So just go after it and make it happen. So congratulations to you guys. And I can't wait to keep seeing more Diamond coaches being, congratulated into the team page. It's really exciting. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about social media. So this is going to be a really good topic. So hopefully you guys brought your notebooks. All right. The first thing that we're going to be talking about when it comes to social media is we're going to be talking about staying consistent. So being consistent with your posts and making sure that you're posting 3 to 5 times a day. I don't know why that thing keeps going off on my screen. I hope it stops. It's so aggravating. So you want to make sure that you're posting 3 to 5 times a day. And the reason why is because people want to know that you are someone reliable and that they can go to you, that they can trust you. And that if they're looking for help with their health and fitness or their financial situation, that they can rely on you and you're someone that they can trust. So just imagine yourself, for example, say you always go to like Dunkin' Donuts every single day on the way to work, right? And you always get a coffee, or you go to Starbucks, wherever. And then all of a sudden, you're driving by and it's open. You're going in, you're getting your coffee. And then all of a sudden, Monday comes and you drive by and it's closed. And you look over and you're like, what the heck? Like, why is it closed? Like, it was open all last week. So you go to another Dunkin' Donuts, right? Then the next day you drive by and it's closed again. And you're like, well, I don't know what is going on with that Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, they were there all last week. They were open serving coffees then. Like, I don't know. I don't see a sign. I don't get what's going on. And then the next day they go by and it's open again, right? And you're going to drive by and you're going to be like, I'm not going to even bother going there because I don't know what's going on. That's the exact same thing with your business. People think the exact same way about you if they don't see you being consistent every single day. So that's why it's so important, especially like when people are getting started on their health and fitness journey and they need help. If they don't see you being consistent with yourself, they're going to be like, how the heck can she help me? She's not even consistent with herself and her own health and fitness and her, in her business that she's trying to build. So you have to make sure that you are showing up every single day, 3 to 5 times a day, getting posts up on there. Make sure that whenever you make a post that you use a picture and you make it eye-catching. So you don't need to spend a ton of time, editing your photos or anything like that, but you can just simply just brighten it up. You can put some text on it. You can put some little like icons on it. Something that will be eye-catching so that when people are scrolling through their news feed, they're going to want to stop and read what you have to say. Like I said, don't go crazy spending too much time on this, but it literally can just take 2 minutes to just add in these quick little features that will just enhance it and make it that much better when people are scrolling through their news feed. Some of the things that I use when I am making mine, like on my phone, I always use Over. It's called Over. That's on the Android. I use Over. I use Photify. I use PicCollage. And I use those 3 like all the time on my phone. And then when it comes time to use pictures that I do on the computer, I use PicMonkey.com, or we use Canva too. Canva is a really good one because what I like about that one better than PicMonkey is that when you create an image in Canva and you save it, if you want to go back in and like use the same kind of thing with the same background, you can still reuse that one and you can make changes to it and edit it and save it. Whereas PicMonkey, it kind of stinks. As soon as you make the photo and you save it, if you want to go back in and like say like use that same picture of like your food or something and just add something new to it, you have to create a whole new image and do it all over again. So it kind of can be like a little bit of a pain, but that one still does work well and I still do use it. So those are some options right there. Be conscious too, guys, about the times that you are posting on social media. So sometimes I see really awesome posts from coaches, but it's like at 11 o'clock at night, or it's like 11:30 at night, and then no one sees it because everybody's in bed. And so you want people to see what you're posting. So think about the audience that you are working with. Like think about your target audience and when they are awake, you know, when are they most likely to be on Facebook or Instagram scrolling through, so that way they'll see your things. So think about that. For me, it's usually between like 8:15 and 9:30 after all the kids go to bed. That's when the moms are usually doing their thing and they're on the computer and they're able to access it and, you know, takes the scroll through and everything. So think about like what your target audience is before you make your post, especially like your really, really important post that you're going to make. And then just make sure with everything that you post that you're adding value to people. So think to yourself, you know, how am I helping someone with this post? Or how am I creating engagement in this post? Why would someone care about what I'm posting about right now? You know, why is this important for them to read? So some tips that you can do and that you can use to try to help you in this area if you need some help with it are to just ask questions about things on Facebook. You know, you could ask questions about things, even if you know the answer, guys. I do that a lot. Just ask because, or just ask for people's opinions on things. Like, you know, what haircut do you like? What pair of jeans do you like? What pair of shoes do you like? I mean, it doesn't even need to be about health and fitness, just anything to get people engaged in your post, because people love to give their feedback and they love to give their opinion because it makes them feel important. So asking questions or asking people's opinions is a really good way. And, you know, one example of a good post that you could make to drive engagement and to drive traffic to you. And then what happens is you're going to get all this traction on that post because people are going to be commenting and liking it. And then what happens is the next post that you make, all those people see it. So that's when you really want to make that next post, make it be a good one because you're going to have more eyes on it. So the more people that engage with your prior post, that next one that you make, that many more people see it. And, you know, all the likes and comments and things like that you're going to get on them, you know, just like I said, you're going to get a lot of likes, you're going to get a lot of comments, and just really make sure that next post, like I already mentioned, is like a really solid post, like a really good one. You know, like think of like your best post that you've ever made and follow up that question post with that post. Because they're going to be more likely to see it. Okay, so it's really important that you make sure that you're getting up these posts every single day. If you have a hard time and like your schedule is really busy, then use one of the scheduling systems that you know, a lot of the people on the team use, and I use them in a lot of the groups. But you can use Hootsuite is one of them. I know a lot of the coaches on the team use Hootsuite, or you could use Postcron, and you can, you know, the night before, you know, spend a good 20 minutes going through and finding some posts that, you know, you can relate to, that can add value to people, and just plug them in, plug in the times that you want them to go up. And then the next day, at least some of your posts will be covered and will go up during the day, and you don't have to worry about them, because you definitely don't want to go all day long and be like, shoot, I didn't get a post up and it's like 9:30 at night now. Like, you want to make sure that you're spacing them out throughout the day, that you're getting up at least 3 posts every single day. Share who you are on social media. So I think that this one's really important. You know, they say, you know, your mess is your message, right? We don't want to appear perfect on Facebook, but you definitely want to share your struggles. You know, you want to be real when you're on social media. So, I mean, I will share a lot of times like the struggles that I'm having with the kids. It's not health and fitness related. It's not supposed to be all health and fitness related. It's supposed to be you and your life and your journey. And so I will share those struggles that I'm having, like with the kids and things like that. Or just any kind of struggle or something that happened, like even if it was something, you know, negative that happened that day. I think it's important to share that, but not to just use it as a way to complain on Facebook. You know, the thing is with Beachbody coaches and with this whole thing in general, and what I love about it is that you learn over time how to deal with these negative situations better, you know, and how to overcome them. And you learn how to kind of put a positive spin on things. So share that struggle that happened to you that day, or share that negative thing that happened to you today, but then twist it around. So for example, you know, my post this morning, I mean, with the kids waking up so early, with Kirsten screaming at the top of her lungs, waking up Landon, and then he's crying and the whole house is awake. And it's like, oh my God. Like I wasn't like, WTF, why are these kids waking up so early? I can't get any sleep, and like complaining about it, right? I talked about how they're waking up really early, but then I put a spin on it on the end and talked about how lucky I feel to be able to just be home all day long, at least in my pajamas or in my sweatpants, you know, kind of lounging around at least. I don't have to rush out and be anywhere. So I kind of put that positive spin on it. That's what you want to do. So when people are reading like your struggles that you're having, they're thinking, you know, oh yeah, she's a real person. Like she's just like me. And then they're going to start thinking, oh man, like I want to start thinking like that. You know, like I don't want to be that person that when something negative happens, I just complain and complain and complain with no solution to the problem. So you want to think about that when you're posting, you know, your struggles on social media. That you definitely don't want to appear to be complaining. You want to share and be honest about what's happened, but then offer a solution about how you know, have kind of flipped the switch and turned it more into like a positive one. Can I complain about having strep throat? There you go. Oh my God, I can't believe you have strep throat. That stinks. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. So definitely do that. You want to share you guys. So, you know, you want to build your brand. This is really important. Like you don't want to be sharing recipes all day long. And that's it. Because people can look other places for that. You want to be sharing you, and you want to be talking all about you. So, I mean, for me, you know, my brand and everything I talk about, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom, you know, with 2 little kids, just a regular mom dealing with the struggles and everyday struggles that, you know, parents deal with their kids, trying to build a business, you know, which I absolutely love because it's bettering things for our family, and I'm excited about it. And so I share that variety all the time. You know, you're seeing a little bit of everything, and it is good to share recipes and it is good to share tips in between, but you can't just be sharing that all day long, every day, because then you're not building your brand and people don't know who you are as a person. So when people look at your wall, you're like, you want them to see you and like get a good view into who you are as a person, you know, what you have going on in your life. You know, build your brand. That's really important. And that happens over time as you go. You'll get more comfortable with the things you post, but it's really important that you start to build your brand so that people who are like you can relate to you. All right. So get vulnerable, guys, with your posts. I mean, this is one of the pieces to it, is to make sure that you're getting vulnerable with people on social media, because people relate to that. You know, be really relatable and don't appear perfect, you know, because that's not real. Not anybody is perfect. Everybody has problems and they have struggles. And when you share that, people are like, it makes them feel better because they're dealing with that same thing. If not, they have it worse. So it's always good to share something really vulnerable. You know, that thing that you're thinking right now in the back of your mind, like, oh, I could never really share that. Like, there's no way. That's the thing that you should share. You know, that time when you go to sit down and you're thinking of a really good post to make, and you're like, oh, I don't really know, like, what's so-and-so going to think about that? Like, oh, is this kind of crossing the line? That's the thing that you should share. You know, it's the thing that's going to make your finger hover over the enter button or over the like submit button for like 5 to 10 minutes before you actually, you know, hit click and post it up. That's the stuff that you should post up there. You know, I like to use this as an example too, as one of them. Like, I talk all the time now, very openly, about how I had $35,000 worth of credit card debt. I talk openly about that now. And it's like no big deal now because it's over and done with. But there was a time, guys, where I was swimming in that $35,000 of credit card debt, where I made that post on social media for the first time, and I will never forget it. And I remember hearing a call about being vulnerable, and I remember thinking, geez, I really haven't been like too vulnerable. Like I really haven't really shared like that. And I didn't want to share it because it's embarrassing. I did not want people to think, like, look down on me and think I was irresponsible. And, you know, and I was irresponsible with my money. I got myself into this situation, and I always cared about what others thought about me. So I didn't want to share that. And so that post, when I made that very first post, when I was in that debt, I mean, I put it out there that I was in this massive amount of debt, and that, you know, I'm really embarrassed that it happened. And, you know, I'm embarrassed to share this, but I'm working towards it, and I'm working hard at it every single day, and it's going to be paid off. And I shared that. And you would not believe how many people messaged me after that, like saying how much they could relate. And thank you so much for sharing. And people who have it way worse than that. So, I mean, you've got to share those things with people on social media so that they can see that you're a real person with struggles, because everybody has them, you know? You know, and so just that's what I love about this whole business, guys, is that you can be your authentic self. You don't have to worry about what other people think. And a lot of times on social media, people use it as a place to like appear kind of like phony, like they have it all put together. And that's, we all know that's not the case. And so that's why it's important to make sure that you share, make sure it's important to share the good, the bad, the ugly, and how you're overcoming it. Because what you share is going to help somebody else. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're posting. And honestly, guys, when you share that, like nothing is more freeing, I'm not kidding you, than when you just like let it out. Like it's just, I just remember just feeling like this, it was like trapped inside of me, like for so long. I mean, I didn't even tell my family, guys, that I had that much credit card debt. I always lied about it. I always just like downplayed it and like said I had like 5,000, you know what I mean? Or just like maybe 10. You know, but I never told them exactly what it was, because I was like, oh my God, they are going to think that, like, how irresponsible, how could you let that happen to yourself? You know, but it happened, and it happened to a lot of people. And so you don't have to share a huge struggle like that or anything like that. You don't need to share, it doesn't need to be anything big or major. It could be anything. Like it could be, you know, confidence issues that you had, that you're dealing with. It could be, what else do I have here written down? Just like being able to stick to like a nutrition plan, you know, or a workout program that you started and you can't stick to. I mean, people can really relate to that. Starting something and then not being able to finish it. I mean, I know I can, because that has happened to me multiple times. I start it and I'm like, don't really like it. I think I'll just try something else. People can relate to those things. So you want to share all of that with people. And, you know, you can start to make a list of all these things that are like boiling deep down inside of you that you want to share, and eventually share them. But I'm telling you, like, it really does feel so liberating when you share that. Like it feels like a huge weight is lifted off of you. And then over time it gets easier and easier. And then you reach that goal and you overcome it, and then you can start to tackle another one. So just make sure that you're being vulnerable. You're getting vulnerable sometimes, and you're sharing just everything. You don't have to share every single little detail, but little bits, so that way people can relate to you. And so over time now, guys, after doing this, what this does is this eventually, it creates attraction marketing. And this is what you guys want. Like, you guys want this so bad. What this means is that, you know, you're going to be doing this stuff religiously every single day over time. And because of that, people are now going to see you as someone who is consistent. They're going to now see you as someone who they can rely on. They're going to be able to trust you, and they're going to know that if they need help, that they can 100% rely on you, because you have been there showing up every single day, no matter what. And so what happens is you don't have to be spending all this time now private messaging people, trying to help people to hit Success Club. That's what you have to do at the beginning, and it's something everybody has to go through. But over time, with this attraction marketing, you are going to be able to set yourself up where people are coming to you. So like, for example, myself, like when you're posting now, you might get the occasional person, but I'm talking like consistently being able to have like a chunk of people come to you. Like that's where I am right now, because, you know, I've been doing this every single day over time, no matter what. So now I'm able to hit Success Club 10 every month because people are coming to me, you know, but it didn't happen, guys, until like 14 or 15 months in. It was 14 or 15 months in this business and me adding 2,000 friends to my network. That's how it happened, you know? So you have to think long-term with this. So when I have coaches come on and, you know, they give this a shot and then 3 months later they quit, it's like, well, of course it didn't work. You know, you're thinking way too short-term. You have to think very long-term, and you have to think consistency and building momentum over time. So it took that long, guys, 14 or 15 months for me to be able to hit Success Club 10 every month without me having to like knock down people's doors, asking them if they need help with their health and fitness. I still do that every day because I want to hit higher numbers than that. But I'm able to at least do the base based off of traction marketing. And that's what you guys want. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Post a variety of things, guys, every single day when you're posting. Like a variety of things that are interesting to you. So whatever's interesting to you, like don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to copy anybody else. Things that are interesting to you, just post about them and share about them. And honestly, social media, guys, is really just a learning process. Like I am still learning right now. You know, I didn't start Instagram. Like, well, first of all, I built this entire business, guys. Like I built this entire business and, you know, into a 6-figure income earning business, all from just Facebook, all off of just my personal page. Like that was it. You know, I didn't start doing Instagram, like start doing anything with Instagram until like 15 months in. Even with my like page that I have, I didn't start posting on that until I was like 8 months in. And I don't complicate, I don't overcomplicate it, guys. Like I reuse the same information and I just post it up everywhere. It's very consistent. It's just everywhere. So you don't have to recreate things for different platforms. But I definitely recommend that you only stick to just one or maybe 2 platforms. Like you want to master, you know, one platform before you move on to something else. Like you don't want to be doing Pinterest and Facebook and a like page and Instagram and YouTube and all these different things, because then you're never going to really become an expert in one thing. So pick your thing and master it and then branch off to something else. So like I'm still learning, guys, even with Instagram. Like I know the potential there is huge. I mean, I've gotten a couple active coaches. Emily is on the call right now. And Deanna is on the call, and maybe she's not on the call. I don't know where she is, but she's another one, an active coach that I picked up from Instagram. But you know, it's slowly starting to happen, but even I'm not being consistent with Instagram, as consistent as I should be. Like I know that I should be, you know, inviting on Instagram every single day. And so I'm slowly starting to make sure that I get on there and I make sure I message at least 10 people every single day, you know, people who are following me. So, but it's a learning process, guys. Like I said, I'm still learning over time. Like you're never like a shoe in, like you're always learning and growing as you go with this. And so just because, guys, you know, what you're thinking of posting isn't perfect doesn't mean that you shouldn't post it up. You know, it's more important that you get it up and you get the content up versus sitting there spending like 45 minutes trying to perfect something and make it look wonderful and make sure it's worded right. And you know what I mean? Just, you can rack your brains out and go crazy trying to make it perfect. Just try your best, spend a little bit of time on it, and just get the content up, because that's what's important. No one's going to look at it and be like, oh my gosh, like she totally did not angle her font the right way. Like, why is it in her head a little bit? Should be down on her shirt. Doesn't she know that? No one's going to be like analyzing your pictures or anything like that, or what you're even writing, you know? So just keep that in the back of your mind too. And like I said, reuse the same stuff. Like don't overcomplicate things for yourself, especially too, when you have active coaches that you are bringing on, like they are going to imitate what you are doing. Like they are going to do what you do, what they see you doing. So if they see you putting a different thing on Instagram and then a different thing on this, they're going to be like wicked overwhelmed and think that they can't duplicate that and that they can't follow in your footsteps. So make it easy on yourself, reuse stuff. You can even go back, guys, and I do this too sometimes. If you're kind of stuck and you don't really know what to post, you know, anything that's like 3 or 4 months old is fair game. Go back to a post you made 3 or 4 months ago and reuse the same thing and share it again on social media. People are not going to remember it. And half of them haven't even seen it. And don't get wrapped up in the people, like the amount of likes you get or comments you get. You know, you might only get a couple likes, but there are like so many more people that are actually reading it. And if you'll notice, and it happens to me and it happens to every other coach in the network, anytime that you make any kind of coaching opportunity post or challenge group post or webinar post, it is way less likes. And it's like that way for everyone. But it doesn't matter. Like, they're still reading it. They're still reading it, and they're still seeing your content that you're putting up every single day. So make sure that you are adding new friends every single day. So, you know, I started with 300 friends, and now I have over 2,500 friends 20 months later. You want to be adding 3 to 5 friends religiously every single day, no matter what, because it means that there's going to be more eyes on you. So if you have like 400 friends right now, right, and then you grow it to 800 friends, that just means that now you have 2 times the amount of eyes on you watching what you're posting. So that's what you want. Like, you want more people following you, more people watching what you're doing, and more people for you to be able to build relationships with. And so it's important you do that every day, because the building relationships with these people takes time. You know, you need to spend time like reaching out and connecting with them on a personal level, getting to know them. I mean, that takes time. And so that's why even for my brand new coaches, I tell them that right away they should start adding 3 to 5 new friends every single day. So I can usually tell when I look at a coach when they come on how many friends they have, and then like how many months later, if they're kind of at the same, then that means that they haven't been consistent with their adding their friends. And that makes a huge difference in your market and how many people that you can help every single month. And so guys, that all takes time though. Like, it really does all take time. So you need to be patient with it. You know, you need to be patient when it comes to building new relationships with new people, and really just think about just being someone's friend and really getting to know them. All right. Then that way it's not going to feel uncomfortable when you go to invite them to a challenge group or to the webinar or to your coach sneak peek. It's going to be more natural and more like someone you met maybe in a college class or someone that you just started working with. That's how you want it to be like. Like, you want it to be natural, and you want to make sure that you stick with these people no matter what. Even if they say no, you keep talking to these people over and over and over again just about life and things that are going on, so that you can maintain a relationship and a friendship with them. If you haven't made sure to listen to my power hour yet that I did for the team call, you know, that's really important. You can check it out and listen to it, but it was really helpful to everyone on the team. And I go over exactly what I say when I reach out to people, so you can check it all out, and you can check out the scripts that I have that we shared too, and that will be helpful for you as well too. Let me just check over here. I feel like I missed something really quick. Let me just glance over my notes real quick. I know I left out one part. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. All right. So I missed this one last thing. With your posts, when I was talking about, you know, posting 3 to 5 times a day and putting, you know, adding value and things like that, a really good book that relates to this, that can show you like how this business works, is called the Jab, Jab, Right Hook book by Gary Vaynerchuk. Is that how you say it, Nick? Vaynerchuk? Yeah. So anyways, what that basically talks about is like the jab, jab is like those little bits of free tips and free information that you're giving to people. Like, you're giving people value and adding value to them for free. You know, you're giving them tips about a water maybe, or you're giving them tips about, you know, like a food group that you're eating, or you're giving them a free recipe. You're giving them like if you're craving something sweet, try this out, and you're giving it for free. So it's free to get their eyes on it, and they're watching. And then the hook is going to be like your invite, like your post that you make. Like, I have a couple spots up to my challenge group, or hey, my coaching webinar is coming up Monday. Like, now they've been watching you and they've been engaging in those posts, and now all of a sudden, boom, like you throw up that invite to invite them to your the coaching webinar, or the coach sneak peek, or your 21-day challenge group that's starting in another week. So you want to make sure that you do those things, and you're posting those little tips like that over time, but definitely, you know, be yourself and build your brand over time, because then you're going to be able to attract people like you to you. So let me just check the chats here. Let's see. Are my invites on Instagram the same as you do on Facebook, or is that yeah? So yeah, I pretty much kind of do the same thing. I don't write as many words on Instagram. So like when I'm on Instagram and I see someone's following me, I feel like people on Instagram get back to me for some reason so much faster than people on Facebook. I don't know why. But it's weird because I'm like never on Instagram, like checking those messages, but it's like I message someone and they get right back. So usually what I do is when I see that I have like a follower and I go and I check them out, I don't want Beachbody coaches following me, so I just stay away from that. But if it's not a Beachbody coach and I look at their wall and I see what they're, a I will just message them about what I see them posting. So I'm trying to target fitness people, and a lot of my followers now on Instagram, we've tried to target teachers because I can relate a lot to teachers because I was a teacher. So I'll look at their wall and I'll see that they posted something about teaching, and I'll reach out to them and I'll say like, oh, like I love your post, like they're so inspiring, or I like this post that you made, and I'll tell them why. Or I might say like, hey, I see that you're a teacher. What grade do you teach? I used to teach first and second grade for 8 years. And I will just start talking to them, and then usually they get right back to me. So I don't usually just go like right into the invite right off the bat. A lot of the people that I've been really paying close attention to, especially for my active coaches, because I am really being picky about who I want now. Like I'll target people who are, really into like health and fitness, or people who have, accomplished like a huge health and fitness goal, because if they've done that, that means that they have commitment and they're not going to quit. They're going to go the distance, and I want people who are going to go the distance. So I'll message them right off the bat and say like, hey, like I see like you're really into health and fitness. That's so awesome. Are you a health and fitness coach? A lot of times if they look like a coach, what I do kind of like almost as like reverse psychology is I like ask them, I'll be like, oh, I love your posts. Like they're so inspiring and they're so motivational. You must be a coach too, right? And I'll say something like that. And then they'll come back and they'll be like, no, actually I'm not, but I'd love to be. And I'm like, oh, well, here we go. This is an easy way in, right? They're basically telling me that they want to coach. And so the conversation kind of happens naturally, but I do feel like they do get right back to me. Other things like I might say, like I will do that. I always do that personal connection, and then I'll start talking a little bit, and then I might say like, hey, while I have you for a second, I just didn't want you to miss out in case you were interested in this, but I'm putting together my 21-day challenge group starting up in a week. And I'm not sure if you were looking for help at all with your health and fitness, but I wanted to let you know so that you didn't miss out. Do you think this sounds like something you'd like to hear more about? Are you interested in learning more about it? And I might word it that way. So I'll say like, hey, well, I have you for a minute, just to kind of get their attention, and I'll say it. So it's not as wordy as my ones on Facebook. And because we're in the middle of our conversations, like that's kind of like how I say it. But I've been having good luck with Instagram. I just need to be more consistent with it. But definitely master like, one platform first. Don't be like all over the place, because then nothing's going to be consistent for you, for your audience. Let me see here. I don't use LinkedIn for inviting. I mean, I do have an account, but I don't use it. So as far as hashtags to use on Instagram, like don't ever use anything Beachbody related. Don't ever put Beachbody. Don't ever put 21 Day Fix. Don't ever put Team Beachbody. Don't ever put Autumn Calabrese. Don't ever put Shakeology. Anything like that, that is going to literally suck in every single Beachbody coach that you can imagine. So you want to put stuff that's going to target like your market, who you are. So like I do like fit mom, fit family, like healthy kids. I mean, if you have dogs, you can even put like hashtag, even if there's no dog in the picture, it doesn't even matter. Like you could, even if it doesn't have like a dog in it, like if you have an animal and like, pound puppy love, people who are, searching that hashtag will then come to you and see like what you're all about and be like, hey, this girl looks familiar. Let me follow her and see what she's doing. So you want to put things that, can relate to you. Healthy eating, clean eating, things like that. Anything else, Nick, for hashtags?
No, maybe
No, Nick is going to make another video too, like specific to like hashtags and things like that. But definitely, yeah, you don't want to put any Beachbody terms in there. So just remember that when you're posting. And I always do try to put like 15 to 20 hashtags in there. So the more hashtags that you can put, the better, if you're doing Instagram. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, good. Does anybody have any questions before I let you guys go for the night? 2 full weeks, guys. 2 more full weeks left. You guys are going to all be Diamond coaches. It's going to be exciting and leaders on the team. Go get them. All right. Well, since there's no questions, guys, thanks for being here. And I will see you tomorrow night at team call. We have another guest speaker. It's going to be awesome. So make sure to be on it. Don't miss it. It's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. So I will see you guys there and have a good night. Bye, everyone.